The question running through your mind was, how are you going to top this? It has been 3 days since that night. Jax pulled the most mischievous prank he has ever done, hiding his real feelings for you. Not to mention kind of hurting your feelings in the process. Thankfully, he did swallow his pride, so it didn't go too far. He truly is an asshole, but you still liked him regardless. Of course, you were questioned by the rest of the group on why you would fall for a person like Jax. You responded with a, "I've seen a side of him that no one else has seen" speech, and left it at that. The group, although confused, didn't pester any further afterwards. Back to the situation at hand, you were still trying to find a way to get back at him, as you promised. Jax has been holding off his pranks, waiting for you to make your move. From the subtle teasing and the annoying name-calling he was throwing your way, he was getting a bit impatient. Definitely not trying to push your buttons. Pacing back and forth in your room, you thought that not just any cheesy, classic, embarrassing kind of prank would do. It had to be bold, unexpected, and something that will put Jax in his place. Suddenly, an idea formed. Put Jax in his place, you thought to yourself. Thinking about that phrase got the gears in your head turning. What better way to put him in his place by fighting fire with fire? Oh yes, a plan was coming together and you were ready to launch your attack. "Okay, Jax, I'm ready," you muttered with mischievous intent. In the morning, you got up a bit early to make sure you arrived at the dining hall before Jax, so that you could put phase 1 of your plan into action. Entering the hall, you were relieved to see everyone was there, except for Jax. You walk over to grab your breakfast and head over to where Gangle and Zooble were sitting. You sat down beside Gangle and peered over her shoulder to have a look at what she was drawing. "Hey, Gangle, I like your drawing," you commented in a happy tone. Gangle looked up at you, a bit caught off guard, but she smiled shyly at you. "Thanks. I hope to finish it soon," she said. "Awesome! I would love to see it. Actually, would you mind teaching me? I've always wanted to learn how to draw," you spoke with interest. Zooble and Gangle were curious at first about why you were suddenly interested in drawing, but after explaining that not only did you show genuine interest, but you needed a break from Jax, the pair looked at each other, pondered, and shrugged their shoulders, deciding to give you a shot. Once you had their confirmation, it was set. You were going to spend the day with them learning how to draw. Phase 1 was complete. A few minutes later, Jax walks into the hall looking like his smug, devious self on his way to grab breakfast. Once he got his food, he sat in the seat across from you and gave you a smirk.
"How's the little lame-ass prankster this morning?"
he said jokingly. You looked up at him with a small smile, showing his comment and little smug didn't get to you. "I'm good. How's the jerk in pink overalls this morning?" You clapped back while adding a little side smirk on the edge of your lips.
"Ooh, nice one."
Jax chuckled, taking your comment as a joke.
"Listen, I was thinking the arcade sounds like a great idea for today. Care to join me?"
He spoke with confidence, thinking that you would say yes and join him. However, he quickly learned that wasn't going to happen. "Actually, I have plans with Gangle and Zooble today. They're going to teach me how to draw." You spoke with a mix of a polite and playful tone. Jax's smirk faded almost instantly, and his eyes slightly narrowed with a mix of confusion and bitterness when you had rejected his offer. Not wanting to show that it affected him, he quickly returned his smile, leaned back in his seat, and put his hands behind his head, shaking off your words like water off a duck's back.
"Oh yeah? Well, that's too bad, because Pomni was going to come with us too. Guess it's just going to be me and her. Right, Pomni?"
Jax looked over at Pomni. The jester had stopped eating and peered over with confusion written all over her face. Sure?" She sounded puzzled, and wasn't too sure about what she agreed on, but it seems now she has plans to hang out with Jax. Yay. You chuckle under your breath, knowing that Jax was trying to salvage the fact he was disappointed. Well, I hope you two have fun. See you later. You, Gangle, and Zooble stood up from your seats and proceeded to leave the hall. Jax watched the three of you exit with a sour look on his face. Pomni turned to him and wondered what just happened. Do I want to know what that was about? She asked, sounding puzzled.
Nah, don't worry about it. I guess we're hanging out now. Let's go, loser.
Jax spoke in a bitter tone as he pushed back from the table and got out of his seat. Although still confused, Pomni decided to get up and follow Jax out of the hall. The hours tick away, and things are going great. At least for you. Happily enjoying the calm, peaceful atmosphere with Gangle and Zooble. Meanwhile, Pomni was dealing with Jax's little outburst after he lost a game, which was pretty much every other game. Pomni tried her best to talk to Jax to see what was bothering him, and of course, he either brushed it off or gaslighted her, ensuring her nothing was wrong and it was just game rage. Although she knew he was lying, she didn't press any further as it was clear that this was a problem only you could solve. Grinning her teeth and bearing it, she pushed through the rest of the day with Jax. When the moon took her place in the sky, you knew it was time to head back. Bidding farewell to the pair and with your new sketchbook in hand, you began your walk down the hallway to head back to your room. Phase 2 was complete. The final step was a bit of a wild card, as you needed Jax to approach you first. And after today, you weren't sure if it was going to happen tonight. In a way, it would be perfect, giving you more time. However, once you were in close range of your door, you were surprised to see Jax leaning against the wall, fiddling with a blue rubber ball. He looked bored, as if he'd been waiting there for a while. This sight proved your little plan was working. As you were getting closer, your footsteps became heavier, alerting Jax to your presence. Once you caught his attention, he quickly shot up and began walking over to you. That bored look is gone, and replaced with an amused grin.
Oh hey, look who it is. Finally finished your drawing sessions with those losers?
Jax exclaimed, sounding a bit smug. First of all, they're not losers. Second, yes, I did, and we had a great time. You emphasized your words, almost sounding like you were trying to rub it in his face. Jax slightly narrowed his eyes at you while still keeping that smug grin on his face.
Well, good for you. Now you're officially part of the Losers Art Club.
He mocked you.
Well, you were busy drawing. I just got back from the arcade with Pomni, and we had such a fun time, and I wowed her with my awesomeness.
He spoke with false confidence, trying to fight back with his words. You just giggled as you had a feeling that wasn't the case. Well, I'm happy to hear that you had a great time. I should be heading off to bed. I am going to hang out with them again tomorrow. The moment Jax heard you were not available again tomorrow, a sense of worry washed over him.
Oh, I see. Well, that's too bad, because I had a fun-filled day planned for tomorrow.
He tried to sound unfazed. That is too bad. Maybe another time? You said in a concerned tone. This only made the sense of worry grow inside of Jax. He gripped the ball slightly, trying not to let his cool facade slide.
Yeah, sure.
He spoke in a low tone. Okay, well, good night then, you said as you began to walk past Jax. His body got tense when you passed him. Not noticing that he wasn't thrilled by you ditching him again only added salt into the wound. His impatience was getting to him, and now that you might have forgotten, it only made him feel upset. Not satisfied by how the conversation went, Jax let out a low hiss and turned to you.
Have you forgotten? It's your turn, and it's been 4 days.
He blurted out. You stopped in your tracks the moment you heard his words call out like that. It almost sounded like a desperate plea. A small grin appeared on your face. Perfect. The final phase of your plan was working. Now it was time for the finishing blow. You took a deep breath and the grin faded. Turning back to face Jax, you looked at him as if you were still unconcerned. I haven't, Jax. As a matter of fact, I have something to say about our prank war. Your prank was genius, and I've been stumped on how to get you back. You beat me, Jax. You won, you muttered. Jax's eyes widened with surprise at your words, but not in a good way.
I won?
He sounded baffled. Yeah, so I guess this means the war is over. The moment you uttered those words, it was like Jax got hit by a truck. Hurt and shocked, he didn't know what to do or what to think. He froze in place, trying his best not to let these emotions push through. Normally, in most situations, winning is the best feeling. However, in this case, not for Jax. It means that he wouldn't be able to spend much time with you anymore, let alone do the one thing that you both enjoy doing, messing with each other. No, Jax couldn't accept this. You turn around to head towards your door when all of a sudden Jax reaches out and grabs your arm tightly, making you drop your sketchbook. Turning to face him, his eyes narrowed angrily and his teeth were clenched together, making it very clear how upset he was.
Listen here, just because I won doesn't mean this is over,
he proclaimed in a bitter tone. Your eyes widened and your lips slightly parted, surprised by his words.
Don't throw in the towel just because of my genius prank. It just means we start a new round. If you give up, then you're just like all the other losers in here, and I don't want that. Please.
He spoke with a sense of urgency. His last word trailed off, and with a raised eyebrow, you wondered what he wanted to finish. Please, what? You muttered back.
Don't leave me hanging.
He spoke barely above a whisper, mixed with a slight, desperate plea. His hand slowly let go of your arm, and his words had you moved. It seems like it was time to end this. With a little chuckle, you lunge forward and wrap your arms around his torso, pulling him into an embrace. Jax was in even more shock as to why you were doing this. With a playful whisper, you uttered the phrase. I gotcha. Confused at first, but once your words set in, he realized that you had pranked him. He started with a chuckle, which then turned into laughter. Jax was floored by what you had just pulled. You called his prank genius, he begged to differ.
I can't believe you.
He mumbled while running a hand through the fur on his head and his other hand placed gently on your back. You better, 'cause I fooled you pretty good, you said in a smug tone.
I gotta admit, you're almost as bad as me, and I like it.
Jax returned with a playful tone. He hugged you a bit more tightly, and it made your heart skip a little beat. Good, because I don't ever plan on stopping, you chuckled. Jack reaches for your chin and positions you to look straight into his eyes. He looks down at you with a mischievous smile and an evil glint in his eyes. This only made your heart race even more and your face flush a tint of pink.
Just don't forget who you're messing with, sweetheart,
he teased. His words made your face turn from pink to red in an instant, leaving you completely stunned. Amused by your reaction, he gently pulls you in for a kiss. Soft and sweet, you never expected a kiss like this from Jax, but it was perfect regardless. Love has many languages: physical touch, acts of service, gift-giving. But you and Jax, the pranks were yours, even if they are a little devious.
Hello again. I'm ClericalHeretic. You might remember me from the last one, and if you don't, you should go watch it. Link should be somewhere around here. Anyways, once again, I voiced the bunny boy in this production, and if you words are hard, and if you want to hear more of me, one, why, but two, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'm sure the link will be down in the description. But more importantly, you should subscribe to Bride of Cypher here, because that'll be the best way to hear more of me. Until next time, be safe.